A Formula One Azerbaijan Grand Prix. In third place, Liam Lawson. In second place, Carlos Sainz, and taking the 46th pole position of his Formula One career and his first here in Baku, our pole sitter, Max Verstappen. Max, that was your 6th pole of the season, giving you more than anyone else in 2025. Just how hard was it to achieve?
I think it was, just a very long qualifying in general with all the red flags. So you never got into a rhythm. Trying to complete laps was already difficult enough with what was going on. So getting the tires in the window anyway in your warm-up lap, your out lap is very tough around here. So honestly, I was quite happy with how Q1 and Q2 was going. But yeah, Q3 was a very long wait. And then choosing what tires to use also for the final run. There was a bit of rain around in places, so not easy at all. But at the end, of course, very happy to sit here. Rain, wind, just unpredictable track conditions. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on how tricky it was? Yeah, I mean, this track is already hard enough without anything. So with the strong winds that we had today, car was moving around a lot, understeer, oversteer in different places on the straight, going left to right. To basically nail everything, but also then the big interruptions that we had was just very tricky today. But luckily, I think we did quite well. Very well. And now 51 laps tomorrow. The conditions look unpredictable again. How do you view the race? Yeah, difficult to say at the moment. Of course, is a good starting position. We just have to try and do our own race, to be honest. Hopefully the car is kind on its tires, that we can look after them and just go from there. All right, very well done. Max, thank you for that. Carlos, let's come to you now. Many congratulations. Your best start for Williams. The transition from Ferrari hasn't always been easy for you. So can we start with this? What does this front row start mean?
Actually, the transition has been super smooth, and I'm very happy with everything that has been going on behind the scenes with Williams, and first of all, the way I adapted to the car, and I was quick straight away from the beginning of the year. Everything that we're doing behind the scenes to work on next year's car, which is our biggest project and our biggest motivation for all as a team. Unfortunately, the year has just been one of those years where nothing comes together when it comes to Sundays and results. But again, today just proves that my speed is there, that whenever I put good laps together and nothing happens to us, I'm quick, I have the speed, and as long as that is there, I don't worry, because just having a bit of bad luck or too many racing incidents recently and not being able to get all the points that we deserve as a team is tough. But if the speed is there and we're working well in next year's car, it doesn't worry me.
As you say, the speed is there. And with 3 minutes and 41 seconds of Q3 to go, you were on pole. Are you a little bit disappointed not to be starting P1?
No, not really, because I knew my lap was good, but probably not good enough for pole. I mean, we know that if a McLaren or a Red Bull puts a lap together, that's 3 to 5 tenths on average. No, so if the track conditions were good enough, which that was the big unknown, I knew my lap was not going to be good enough. And I think our simulation said at the time maybe only Max and Lando could beat us. So I was thinking about a P3. In the end, it was only Max. It had to be Max, but in general, I thought as soon as I started my lap at the end, I was actually coming very quick. I was like 3 or 4 tenths up on my lap. And on one way, I was thinking, great, because this might even confirm or achieve pole. But then I was thinking, then the leaders are going to be even quicker. No? And that's exactly what happened.
You were confident after yesterday's practice sessions. What's possible in the race?
Yeah, it hasn't been the smoothest weekend for me. I've been struggling with the feeling on the brakes. With this car, we are having some brake issues in some demanding tracks like Canada and here. But today in quali, I felt good. And most importantly, we kept the car consistent through the weekend. And I think that allowed me to, whenever there was a chance to put a lap today, which there were not many, I think I did in total 3 or 4 laps today in quali, given the red flags. The lap was good. So tomorrow from P2, we'll try and keep it consistent, see every one of the leaders that will try and come through. But if you look at our long runs on yesterday, we were actually pretty quick. So I'm hopeful that we can go for it tomorrow.
Very good luck. Thank you for that. And Liam, very well done to you. Your best starting position in Formula One. It's a special moment. What does this mean to you?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was a good session. It's been a good weekend so far. It's been very tricky though. I think that quali was one of the toughest ones we've probably experienced, trying to keep putting out laps, especially when the rain's coming down, and the amount of red flags that there were as well. It was definitely a challenge, but the car's been good, honestly, all week, and we've just been fine-tuning, and I think it was in the right place. But when a session's like that, honestly, it's more down to just putting a lap together and making sure that you have good track position and you don't get caught out by these red flags.
Let's throw it forward to tomorrow then. What's possible for you?
It's really hard to know, but obviously we'd love to stay where we are, but obviously we're aware of the guys that we're racing as well, and know that there's some quicker guys behind us. So we'll try and obviously have a good start. It's the first thing. I think our long run pace was okay, but honestly, when the conditions are as windy as they were today, it changes everything. So let's see tomorrow.
All right, very well done to you. Let's now open this to the floor. Name and publication as ever, please.
Ronald Vording, motorsport.com. It's a question to Max. Max, can you take us back to the final stages of Q3? I mean, McLaren went relatively early with Lando. You went quite late. How confident were you that was the right call, given everything that happened before and the risk that's involved in that?
Well, it wouldn't really, matter too much, because I think if anyone would have crashed, then there would have been no laps for the people that didn't have a lap. So I just didn't want to be first, because you lose a bit to turn to the line. So that meant that we were almost at the back, but that was okay. That was a call that we made.
Thanks, Max. Next one.
Rodrigo França, Car Magazine Brazil. Question to Max. Congratulations on your pole. You might don't have a chance to win the championship, but will you remind 2025 as one of your best years in Formula One in terms of your own performance?
I think when I'm older, I don't really care. I just think about other stuff. Enjoy with my friends, family. And then, maybe get some highlights. Like, well, yeah, that was good. But it's been a good year for sure. I'm happy with my performances. It seems like finally also now we seem to understand the car a bit better, which I think is the most important out of it. And then when I feel a bit happier in the car, then you can extract naturally a bit more out of it. And that's what we are doing right now. So hopefully we can just keep that going.
All right, thank you. Next.
Ronald Vording, motorsport.com. It's a question to Liam. Helmut Marko has said that the end of October, so around Mexico, will be a good reference point to make the driver choices going into 26. Keeping that in mind, do you feel that this, like today, the performance comes at the best possible time for you?
For sure, it's good to have these results. For me personally, it's been something that has been tough, especially this year, especially early in the season. I think when it's been very, very close this year. But personally, we just had a lot of stuff sort of going on earlier in the year that was making qualifying more difficult, and it definitely wasn't a strong point. So it's important for me more than anything. And obviously it helps, these performances, but we need more than one. We need to keep the consistency, and also points are more important as well tomorrow and the races.
Thank you. Any more? Yep, another one.
Yeah. Ronald Vording, motorsport.com. One for all three, maybe starting with Carlos this time. How difficult is this session mentally in terms of making the risk versus reward considerations in your head? Of course, some guys are out, so there's potentially a big result on the table, but it's even more proof that around Baku, every mistake can be incredibly costly. So does it make it even more complicated?
Yeah, for sure. The tricky thing about today was, first of all, it's very difficult to get into a rhythm because you're not doing laps, finishing laps. You're not spending time on track. And every time you have like a 10-minute break in the garage, it's always difficult to know where the track is when you go back out again, where the tires are going to be, where the wind is going to be. So every time we are going out again, it's a bit of an adventure. And I think that's why I think there were so many crashes. If you also think that F1 cars nowadays are a lot trickier to drive in the wind than what they are in the wet, for example. It's completely unpredictable. You need to think that a car in mid-corner depends purely on its downforce, and 30-40 kph changes the downforce of the car dramatically, and that's what we are getting every lap, a different level of downforce in the corner, and it always catches people out. It caught a lot of people out today, probably the wind, and it just shows. I don't think people at home understand how tough the conditions were today and how easy it was to crash. I mean, to have the 20 best drivers in the world and 7 or 8 out of them crashing, it tells you how tricky the session was today.
Yeah, I mean, I think Carlos answered that quite well. I mean, it's a long wait. Of course, you wanted to finish a bit sooner, but at the same time, there are a lot of calls also that you have to make in the background with tires and how many laps you want to do, warm-up procedure. But you also kind of know that is a possibility around here with red flags.
Yeah, honestly, I think for us in this position, I think obviously when it's this chaotic, personally, I'm going to obviously try and on a street circuit anyway, you have to obviously push the limits, and sometimes if you push a little bit harder, you can get rewarded, but obviously it's very easy to crash here as well. So I think through quali you're managing it, trying to obviously drive good laps, but keep everything together and learn as much as you can with the wind and everything like that. But at the same time, with how much it's changing, you start a new lap and it's completely new, the feeling of the car, different corners, and it can be really confusing. But it just means, especially such a long lap, it's very challenging for us.
Liam, your team principal Alan Permain said yesterday that the car was quick in Monza, but you didn't maximise qualifying there. Was there a change in approach today here in Azerbaijan?
Yeah, I think we fueled for the session, did the whole session, and just kept driving around. So we made a mistake in Monza and took a little bit of a risk, but we knew the car was fast. But just with how close it is this year, and you can still be fast and have something happen and get knocked out. So today we, with everything that was going on and the conditions, we played it a bit safer and we maximized laps on track. We probably completed 3 or 4 laps, but spent the entire of qualifying when it was green pretty much on the track. So obviously for today it worked for us.
Thanks for that. Any more? Yes.
Rodrigo França, Car Magazine Brazil. Question to Carlos. Carlos, you and Max have been teammates in your rookie year. So how special will it be to share the front row with him 10 years after that year in Toro Rosso?
Great. I think we've shared it a few times now, the front row, I think. No? Or not?
I have honestly no idea. We need to check.
I think in my Ferrari days, we shared some front rows. So I've always enjoyed racing Max since my years in Toro Rosso. We had a very competitive year, full of learnings for both. I think it built us as the character and the drivers that we are today. And then he's going to be a mega F1 driver and probably will end up being one of the most successful ever. And just proud, to be sharing the first row with guys that I've been racing my whole life now with. And I think it's great, great competition, but that's what Formula One is all about.
Thanks for that. Any more? No more? We will leave it there. Very well done. Good luck in the race tomorrow. Thanks, gents.